over the past 10,000 years or 20,000 years, humans have come a long way. If you want, you can organize a large concert, you can execute a vaccination program for millions of people, you can do many things, but not necessarily very efficiently. When I visited Coca-Cola's factory, I was stunned to learn that every
Welcome to the Bangladeshi Trailblazers podcast. I'm your host, Tasneem Hassan. In today's episode, we will dive into the journey of Mohammad Oli Ahad, the founder and CEO of Intelligent Machines. We will talk about the birth of intelligent machines, its transformative AI products, and how it has been reshaping industries across the globe. So let us get into a conversation and find out all about intelligent machines today. Hi, Bhaiya, how are you?
Thank you, wonderful. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for finding the time to join us in conversation, and we are very, very excited to have you on the show. If you could tell our viewers about yourself and how did you start off with intelligent machines, that would be great.
Sure. We are Intelligent Machines. We build enterprise AI products, and till date, it's been 5 years. We have deployed 28 AI models and also 28 parsers. These are live for 13 clients in 4 markets. So we started in June 2018. Backer was actually, I was thinking about doing, working in advanced data analytics and AI probably from the year 2010. Back then I was working at British American Tobacco, and then in my role, I started there as a trade marketing manager and then later moved as a marketing technology manager. And then, in a team of 33, we used to look after 25 countries of Asia Pacific, from all the way from Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea to Hong Kong, Singapore. And I needed to travel a lot. And I saw over and over again, the explosive power of data. To me, I've always seen again, that, doing with the data insights in mind and not doing it from my observation, I would say it's a minimum of 50 to 60 times, with difference of results. So this is what I find, what I still find today, even in Bangladesh, our clients who are using AI and data science in their project, in solving their important day-to-day business problem, high-value business problems, they're gaining generally on a minimum of $50 to $60 for every $1 spent in AI. And it always blew me. I always felt like we humans as a whole, as a species, we have learned to do many things over the past 10,000 years or 20,000 years. Humans have come a long way. If you want, you can organize a large concert, you can execute a vaccination program for millions of people. You can do many things, but not necessarily very efficiently. Early in my business school years, I graduated from IB at Dhaka University. And when I visited Coca-Cola's factory, I was stunned to learn that every 10 taka worth of Coca-Cola, there's only 70 paisa of substance. And it wasn't like, that Coca-Cola was profiting 9.3 taka for every 10 taka bottle. It wasn't. It was actually, there was huge amount of inefficiency in the entire value chain, in the distribution, in the communication, not knowing which communication that consumers would want. So they bombard consumers with advertisements, with communications. And even then not knowing it, they provide discounts, they bring in celebrities. Even then not knowing which celebrities, they bring in multiple celebrities. And it's not just in FMCG or beverage. I've later found that the same to be true in medicine, in healthcare, in education, everywhere. For instance, the pathology centers, the blood tests or the other, tests that do pathology tests, for every 400 taka or so, the tests on an average, their chemical substances are only about 1.5 taka or 2.5 taka. And again, even after, considering the depreciation cost of the machineries, the expertise cost of the radiologists and all, the operators and the real estate cost and everything, it doesn't go anywhere near even 1/10 of the cost actually the consumers end up paying. So, in my tenure at BAT, I have seen very hard, very close being in the market, not knowing not having precise data, not knowing which outlets to target, which consumers to target, we're all the organizations, by and large, are wasting so much resources. End of the day, consumers are bearing the brunt of it. So I'll just give an example. The product that Unilever is using, one of our AI products, it gives them, precision marketing. Doing it with an AI and without AI, there's a generally 7 to 13 times different. If you do it without AI, if the consumer conversion is less than 1%, with AI, it will be at least 7% to 13%. That's the results machine for the last 3 years now. So, so that was one. The other aspect was also cool. I saw, shortly after my graduation, I saw almost everyone, or at least many of my friends, really cousins, alumni are leaving Bangladesh and going to USA, Canada, UK, Australia, and other developed countries. And again, when I started talking with them, one thing among the key reasons that they choose to migrate, one thing was there isn't a challenging place or an advanced enough workplace for here that they felt where they can utilize their time and they can learn. So I was like, okay, huge gap. One, in our country, we need advanced technology solutions, advanced solutions, just as much any other country is needed, if not more possibly, because we have so much gap actually. And on the other hand, these startups are saying, there aren't that many places also. I thought, okay, if we can, and much more that's what we've been doing, if we can have an organization where these talents who actually target to go abroad, they can come and work with us, be with us for 2 to 3 years, and gain hard reach experience, do great work, and then go. So what happened, Apu? Till now, more than 85 of our alumni, of our team members, working at Intelligent Machines and showcasing primarily their works with us. They have now, many of them went to USA with fully funded PhD program or master's program to Johns Hopkins, Carnegie Mellon, you name it. And then they're working in 2 of our team members work for 3 actually, Stanford AI Lab. Sorry, 2 in Stanford AI Lab. One is University College of London. One is working for CIA in their AI department. One is working in WISE. One is working at Spotify's AI team. So our proposition still remains the same, at least in this area to the talents. Yes, okay, you may, for various reasons, choose to go abroad for certain years or even to settle there. But you know what? You can consider, inshallah, joining an organization here and working for the local country, your fellow countrymen, while gaining rich experience. You would be solving the problems with the forefront of the technologies, and showcase that, and I'll finish with my answer to this question with just one example. Just barely a month ago, one of my ex-team members, he called me middle of the night after complete getting out of an interview in Canada. I'm not saying the name of the organization because he hadn't joined there yet. So, but he's still going through the notice period of the previous service. It was his dream job. And the interviewers were actually asking him, are we offering you good benefits enough so that we want to ensure that you would choose us? And my team member, he was saying, Bhaiya, his name is Omar, he was an IUT grad. He was saying, Bhaiya, I felt like they were respecting me this much because of the rich work we have done. In Bangladesh, the challenges that it give you working for millions of people in a dense populated market with very minimal technology infrastructure, you actually get a chance to do advanced engineering problems, which possibly you won't even encounter in the developed markets right now.
So
Yeah, go on.
It's a very I'm very surprised to actually learn about the fact that you stepped into the world of AI when AI did not even become a thing. We just got to know the AI boom this year with ChatGPT, OpenAI, whereas you were working on enterprise, software focused on AI, right? Since 2018. So
Yeah,
how did
completely.
that actually
Right.
pan out for
Right.
you?
I mean, I still remember it was in early April in 2018. So one of my alumni, Moinuddin Ragir Bhai, he's still the finance director of Bikash. He called me, and I still remember the scene. I was in my car driving it through Moakhali in front of a skate store. He was calling me that, Oli, I have two big concerns, and then these are bugging me. Do you think can AI help? One was that, back then Bikash was having 800, 900 crore taka budget a year for their marketing and communication expenses. And bulk of it was being spent for point of sales materials, for trade discounts, consumer discounts, and in all sorts of engagement. So he was worried. He was saying he has big worries over two questions. One was whether the expenses, the targeted programs are actually reaching the market. The point of sales materials, whether those are actually being placed in the outlets, the consumer discount programs are actually hitting the outlets or not on time, because these generally had only a small 2-day window, 3-day window, 10% cashback, or certain of those sort of kinds. And the other one was whether the program designs were actually optimized, whether the amount of money he was spending, the large amount of money he was spending in certain programs, whether actually those were being the right kind of expenditure. So, for instance, should he rather reduce his point of sales material expenditure and increase the consumer discount, or the other way around? So I told him, Bhaiya, we can start with the first question first, whether the programs are actually hitting the market. Do you think we can arrange a legal, ethical way where we can get outlets data, images every day? So he said, really, let's talk. From there, we quickly signed up, agreed, and Bikash gave us a $900,000 work order. I was the only team member, and having with the work order, I sitting in, head of procurement team. A storm was going through in my mind. I was thinking, was there any miscommunication? Does Bikash really know that I'm the only person, and we haven't had any work before this, or this is your first work, and also who should I recruit? Where do I go? Anyway, so pretty soon what we had was we contracted market access, search site. These are third-party market activation marshal team. So they had about 1,000 team members who visited these outlets and sent us 28,000 outlets and 2 images every day. We started with that, built one after another. So right now, Bikash uses our 5 AI models. So this all started with consumer, large client organizations calling us. So till date, 100% of our clients came on their own. Even clients from USA, we have 2 clients from USA, 1 from Australia, 3 from Myanmar and Qatar, and in this Asia, Southeast Asia. So everyone. So Unilever came in. We are having this, large consumer campaign countrywide. We're covering 4.7 million consumers. Would you be able to help us with cohort analytics? And, can your AI tell us what exactly should we offer individual consumers? Then another organization came in. We go to the 760,000 outlets. Can your AI tell us what actually the conversation that takes place between a salesperson and the retailers? So every time we've been very fortunate because, because of the very fact that there were not any other players, it was a supply constrained market.
Exactly.
So consumer, generally found us through asking each other on the market. And I guess we were very lucky to start early.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm having you on the show. I mean, you are one of the trailblazers to start off into the world of, artificial intelligence and to cater to enterprise businesses, right? So, what I'm really interested to know, how has the trajectory been for intelligent machines over the years? Because there must have been a lot of challenges that you may have faced, right, in terms of hiring or retaining a team as well and training them as well. Because Bangladesh, I'm not really sure if we would have, graduates specializing in AI, and people joining the team, or, how did you work around that, building a team?
Yeah, so since I take it as two separate questions. One about the talents of graduates and the other one about the trajectory and challenges. Challenges were many, Apu. To begin with, the active market is very, very small. That I find to be the key problem right now. There isn't enough, adoption or faster adoption. Bangladesh, in my humble opinion, we are generally not early adopters. We're generally not leaders. We're generally followers. And again, that's not necessarily bad. It is just how we are. We perhaps value more tradition, value more how we have seen seniors or elders to do things. We're generally perhaps a bit cautious in adopting technologies, perhaps. So I see the market is very small, and also I would say market isn't that fast. So say for instance, if when a client organization requests us, okay, we are having this important business problem. Say for instance, we build our product and it takes us 3 weeks. Can AI help us to build our product in say less than a week? So can we increase our speed to market? So or say we have we know we have an ongoing embezzlement problem, and these are all real life scenario. Whatever I'm sharing with you is all based on hard facts. So there is one financial institutions that has come to us, they have shared their own words that they know that every month their detectable embezzlement is 2 crore taka a month, detectable, and AI can quickly solve it. But you know what? It's been months. We have shown them how the AI would work, and sometimes we actually give them the product for completely free, even when seeing it works, because of the decision-making structure. So as of now in Bangladesh, it's mostly individual driven. One person generally the owner-driven decision system. It's even the management or executive committees. With all due respect, I don't feel like they feel that they're empowered to take risks. They feel, they always feel, I see that, they need to get direct consent from their owners. Anyway. So I would say the active market size is a key challenge. Second challenge I would say was actually on us. I wasn't careful. We were not careful. So we incurred a large amount of loss in the form of unpaid bill. So some of our respected clients, for whatever reasons, they decided just not to pay. Again, I would say this is, when I talk with others in industry, not AI, in other enterprise SaaS operators, they say this is very common. And I'm so sad and shocked to know that this is, unfortunately, this is a prevalent thing. People simply just don't feel responsible or professional enough. So we didn't have guardrails. So one request would be, or one humble advice to other fellow entrepreneurs would be, please consider putting up these guardrails early now. No matter how big, how global giant the client is, they might be the global 1 or 2 globally leading giant in their industry. Please have your guardrails. If they don't give you deals, say for 2 months, seriously consider discontinuing that service. Because what happened with us, we always need to rent supercomputers of all our AI models. We cannot run these on any other computers other than supercomputers. These are 10 to the power 15 petaflop computations, let's say. These are essentially in the realm of supercomputers. And there's no one such arrangement in Bangladesh that you can rent. So we always need to rent from US or abroad. And these generally come at a hefty cost. They generally charge 600% interest. So you charge. Anyway. So we end up incurring large amount of, computation bill while the client was not paying. So I would say about the trajectory, we almost died. We had 4 official near-death experience. It was, and all of these are so heartbreaking. I almost needed to tell everyone to go, and I needed to look for a job. I needed to took job. I joined Garagami phone once. I took a consultancy at UN agency once, and these were all very heartbreaking. Honestly, when we say that, entrepreneurs are risk takers, but it doesn't mean that we love risk. We really like any other common people. If there are 2 ways of doing things and one is less risky, of course we would choose the less risky one. But if there are no other option, we would not shy away from taking the risky one. So from taking the reasonable risk. But these near-death experiences or these. So, last year, 18th July, when the last time we needed to request again 18 or 14 members to look for opportunities elsewhere, I mark that day annually as our fall down and get up day. So every year, 18th July, I get an annual reminder that we don't want to incur the same experience. And why that happened? Did our AI models were not working perfectly? No, not that wasn't the case. Where we stop, that wasn't the case. What was the case? We were not careful enough. We let our clients go for 10 months or a year without clearing up their bills. We believed that they would, and they didn't. Anyway. The other question, Apu, about talents. So here's the thing, Apu. I believe Bangladesh can now produce 2,000 highly capable AI engineers without much challenge. What we do is, our model is we take, second year students, third year students, fourth year students, as well as fresh grads. So, and we have seen, mashallah, now that these guys, they can actually, girls, they can actually get production ready within 2 months, max 2 months. Actually, they get production ready within 1 month. There are a number of learning in these areas. Generally, what I see is when talents of graduates, they try to learn about AI or data science, they generally complete one or more courses on edX, Coursera. But the thing is, the entire course isn't helpful. What they actually need is, they need 12 minutes from this course, 6 minutes from that other course, 22 minutes from that other course, and they need practice with real life data and all as such. So this is like doing a cricket academy. If you want to be a cricketer, you don't need to complete multiple cricket academy. Rather, you get a coach who can help you with your particular strength, with your particular improvement areas, and guide you. I mean, like an Olympic athlete. Maybe you have an issue with your starting. Maybe you have an issue with your finishing or middle part of the game. So, mashallah, we now have a very good model. Thing is, every September, a large part of our team members, they go mostly to USA. So this year too, already some have already left, some are going. So because of the talents that we target, they actually they have to actually choose to complete their master's or PhD in the USA. Mostly in the USA, some also go to Canada. So we have now this arrangement. About 12 or 13 every year goes abroad. Very few go in April, but mostly they go in August to July. So we have a talent
Have a rotation.
talent sector. Yeah.
Great. It's so nice to hear all of that. And I wanted to actually ask you one question that I asked you at the Startup Summit and to the panelists as well. I think I'm going to repeat the question because I want to hear it from your end. We usually see that startups these days, or startups in general, tend to lose their vision, right? Tend to lose direction because we are trying to scale, we are trying to bring in revenue, we're trying to hire a new team. There are lots of things that happen along the way, right? So my question, as I had asked during the Startup Summit, was how can we not lose our direction? And this time I want to not hear it from the panelists, I want to hear it from your end.
I think what you're saying is possibly people's ambitions change, people's perspectives change with age, with experience. People gain new perspectives, and it may not necessarily be bad. Maybe if they have an improved vision, if they have a more time adjusted vision. For our case, this didn't occur. I believe this was only because the love and faith that we had in AI, in data science. We believe, the medicine that we buy at 15 taka now, that can actually effectively be produced at 1.5 taka or 2.5 taka with data, with AI. So, I mean, what happened, Apu? I mean, outside this is just simply how are you to your faith, to your love. If the original reason, if the original purpose is still holds, then you would not lose vision. So, for instance, I have seen, and unfortunately, at times, I was also being cajoled or persuaded, of course, I mean, almost to, I mean, or tried by others to pursue fundraising, strongly. But we always felt, the core purpose, the reason we started Intelligent Machines is eventually, inshallah, in the next 2 to 5 years, we want to complete building our AI platform. So Intelligent Machines, the AI platform, where you can come and whatever business size or industry you are in, can come and pick and choose, okay, if it's a supply chain model, if it's a distribution model, it's a marketing model, or finance model, or whatever that you need, you can pick and choose your AI component, your AI modules. Those would be best of class and would be very, very affordable. And then you can build your own customized AI app on top of it. And so we believe, like I would say, perhaps if I imagine that Google still believes search is relevant, search is important, they're still primarily working on to focus search. For us, it's still, and also we're fortunate that, for us, it's still the case that, we still see that, bringing AI, giving the talents who otherwise would go abroad, giving them a good, respectful, empowering platform here, both of the purposes, both of the reasons still holds true. So as long as these are true, we don't see any reason. So what we do, we have our all hands. We do this almost every 2 weeks. And we also have our leads, discussion. So we always, say, okay, these are like, when you discuss in your family or in your friends, if things that you want to achieve together, if the results are still there, so the work isn't complete yet. So there's no reason up to that, to pursue new goals or other goals. I don't have any answer. I would just say, if founders of the startup teams believe the original purpose, original reason that they started their work, that still holds true, I would imagine that they would continue to stay on course. I don't know, Puta, that answer your question?
Definitely. Yes. No, because I asked you that question because there are so many times that we want to pursue many strategies. We want to pursue different target markets, right? So what happens is eventually we tend to lose sight as to what we're doing. And then we need to take a point where we need to stop and reflect back on what are the strategies that we took, what are the kind of markets that we were approaching, which one is working better, which one is not. So I feel like it's more like a reflection that an organization needs to do on a regular basis, like how you said every 2 weeks you have such meetings, right? To maybe look back at what's working and what's not, and changing across the time. So yeah, thank you so much for that answer. And to end it, what kind of advice would you have for startup founders in today's date to be resilient and to keep operating and to keep thriving at this point? Because you come from a point where you started off with AI, focused, enterprise focused business at a very, very early stage. Now we see that, there's a lot of competition going on, and others, right? They need to work harder in order to even raise funds and all. What kind of advice would you have for them?
From our hard-earned experiences, I would request to focus on two areas. One is in finance. I would request everyone to to give importance on monitoring cash inflow. So I'll share that my learning that instead of looking at your P&L, you should probably would do better at least in early stage, managing your operations, looking at the inflow, cash inflow and outflow. Because your P&L may look very healthy, but what happens is bulk of it may come later. But you would need to continue your services, continue to pay your salaries and bills on a month-on-month basis. So request, I'll recommend this one advice that So now what we do is we have a product-wise cash inflow, cash outflow, statements, product-wise. So product-wise, we know, okay, are these products having a positive cash surplus or a negative cash surplus? Okay. So if it is a negative cash surplus product-wise, when are we going to become cash positive for this product-wise? So our other products of the organization is subsidizing these products right now, so that shouldn't continue. The second one is, I would request is educating the market, enlightening the market early on. This is one key area where we have not, we neglected actually pretty much always. So educating the market, because what I've seen, Apu, I believe end of the day, essentially everything becomes like a changing behavior, changing the behavior of your customers, changing the behavior of your other stakeholders, regulators, your investors, your employees or team members. So when it comes to changing behavior, you need long-term, consistent communication. So doing
Relationship building.
go-to-market communications early, exactly, I would say that's very, very key. So in our case, what we did was we only thought if we build a super good product, everyone would just automatically come.
Talked about finances.
Right,
And
right,
then,
right. So I was sharing that our hard-earned experiences about that, we should actually consider consider ma- monitoring product cash flow on a product by product basis, whether for each of the products or services or initiatives, whichever teams, whatever each of the teams would be doing, whether from those services or product lines or service lines are sustainable or not, whether those are cash positive or not. If not, then is there any chance that in the near term those might become cash positive? Because maybe for the interest of the organization, they should rather consider putting those on hold, or thinking hard about those, and also about putting up guardrails, ensuring. So what we do up every 2 weeks, we now have a contribution review call. So these are like go no go calls for the ongoing projects. For each of the ongoing projects, we take as a leads team together. We take whether we should continue our efforts or whether we should put our efforts on hold or do more or do less. So earlier we didn't, we were not doing this, and we felt that, this wasn't really very wise. And the other one would be, so I was actually, before the connect call dropped, I was actually talking about the communication. So what happened is, since we were not conscious about maintaining regular communications, we now find that we don't have the control of the narratives. If you ask anyone, what does intelligent machines do? What does it represent? You would probably get 10 different answers from 10 different people, because it's not their fault. We haven't put up a consistent story. Okay, what intelligent machines actually is and what it represents. So and whatever, who has seen whatever small bits or inconsistent ad hoc communication from us, based on those, something we're working with retail AI, something we are working in FMCG only, something we are a fintech company. But yeah, so I would recommend these two early on, because market education is so important. Because end of the day, whether or not a consumer would adopt or subscribe to our product, probably not just because of the needs they feel or the value the product can potentially establish for them, but also actually whether they feel comfortable taking this risk, whether they feel encouraged, enthusiastic about taking it. Yeah,
Great. Thank you so much for that. Actually, it was very insightful to learn about it. And especially, I believe that early on, when we are actually, I agree with the fact that we need more brand awareness and also market awareness, right? We need to teach people as to what our product actually does, because without that, selling a product becomes a little tougher, right? Or reaching out to the right customers becomes a little tougher. So thank you so much for sharing that insight. And on that note, I wanted to also ask you, when Oli Bhai is not working, what is that he does?
I love getting with the family. So I have two daughters, mashallah, 14 and 8 years old. So whatever time we can get together with them and my loving wife, Sarah. So we love being together. And from my early age, I'm a voracious reader. So I believe that till these days I read at least more than 2 hours. So
oh wow.
Yeah, so reading and being with and we love traveling, but it doesn't always happen. We don't always get to travel a lot, but that's something we love a lot. I love coffee. So yeah, finally being with the girls. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Bhaiya. It was really nice talking to you and to hear from a person like yourself, who's an industry leader in the field of AI right now. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope everybody who has watched this episode learns a lot and they get to, take up from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
having me here.
Viewers, thank you so much for watching this episode today. I hope you all took something from this episode. If you have any feedback or suggestions to make, you can email me at tasneemhassan.media@gmail.com. This is it from me, Tasneem Hassan, signing off.